This is A to Z with Mark Zinno, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta, and it starts now.
Good afternoon. Welcome to A to Z here on Locked On Sports Atlanta, where today I ask, what do you want, sizzle or steak? Welcome in. We are live here on this Wednesday, a post-trade deadline Wednesday, and there is a ton of news to get to with the Atlanta Braves. Plus, Spencer Strider was awesome last night as well. We have some Falcons news and me, the NFL loyalist, all that coming up here on the show today. Want to give you guys a reminder to follow us on Twitter at LockedOnATL. Of course, I'm at Mark Zinno, MarkZinno. For a segment of the show brought to you by BetOnline.net, rather. And I want to start with the trade deadline because, last night leading up to 6 p.m. was pretty entertaining. If you sat down and you were just kind of watching deals as they came across, you saw a lot of teams continue to make deals that put them in better positions for not only a postseason run, but, depth in the postseason and things of that nature. But manifestly, when you look at the two biggest trades or the two biggest players at the trade deadline, obviously the San Diego Padres made a huge move, right? Obviously the San Diego Padres made a move that is going to alter the constructs of their team, not only for the short-term future, but possibly the long-term future as well. They made some big moves. Juan Soto, they gave away a ton of prospects, but now they put together this team, and then they go out and they get Brandon Drury from the Cincinnati Reds, who's an all-star this year and one of the better third basemen in the league. So they have literally stacked their roster from top to bottom between Soto, Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis when he comes back, Drury. I mean, they have names up and down, along going with a really strong starting staff, Joe Musgrove, Yu Darvish, everybody else. This was a team right now that's, going for it. And I've said this repeatedly, guys. I love when GMs go for it. I love when they push all their chips to the center of the table and go for it. And the GMs that do, I hope they win because I want that aggressiveness to be rewarded. I want that sort of mentality to be, I think it should be rewarded, and I want to see it pay off for them because that's the kind of GM I like. I don't like the ones that sit there, well, I don't know. That guy in your fantasy football league who rejects every trade just because, well, I don't know. Like, I can't stand that guy. So and that's part of the reason why I love Alex Anthopolous, because he's super aggressive. We're going to get to him in a minute. But the Padres made all these moves to put themselves in contention, obviously. Look, and they're going to go to the playoffs, right? Like, they are going to end up being in the postseason right now. If you look at, Major League Baseball standings and you look at their playoff percentage or whatever it is, however they want to quantify it, I'm not sure exactly what the math is. But, they are 14 games over 500 right now, 11 and a half games out of first place in the NL West. And from a wild card standpoint, they're pretty secure with getting to the postseason because right now they have a 7.5 game lead over the Giants, who are the first team out of the other two wild card positions, right? So they don't got to worry too much at this point in time. Hold it all together, and they should be fine, theoretically. Now, on the flip side, you have what the Padres do, which is a whole lot of sizzle. It grabs a whole lot of headlines, and it grabs a whole lot of attention. On the other side, you have Alex Anthopolous, and he is your steak. Now, I will talk about your steak here in just a second. First, a word from our friends at BetOnline.net, the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your sports betting needs. Find all your favorite sports and events at the #1 online source for odds, lines, and games. There are reviews and news in every league. Obviously, Major League Baseball and the trade deadline, you got all the reviews there. But in the NFL as well, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports wagering information, from live in-game betting, scores, and podcasts. They've got you covered with everything. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to learn more about the action that is happening today. BetOnline, where the game starts. So Alex Anthopolous on the other side of the ledger is all the stake. There's not a lot of sexiness to the moves that he made, right? I mean, the Jake Odorizzi thing for Will Smith sort of was a bold move. The Braves bullpen has been incredibly good for a better part of this year. And trading away one of your guys from last year who helped you win a World Series to get a starting pitcher from the Houston Astros says two things. One, they have a lot of faith in their bullpen. Two, Jake Odorizzi is there to fill the back end of the rotation where Morton and Ian Anderson are faltering at this point in time. So they're going to need some starting depth. But it's a move that just kind of flies under the radar a little bit. It doesn't have all the headlines that we've seen from everything else. Hell, the Yankees sending Joey Gallo to the Dodgers because it's the Yankees and the Dodgers got more attraction in the Odorizzi trade at this point in time. But see, again, watch Alex Anthopolous work because he gets rid of Will Smith and it was like, okay, he's done. It's good. No. They went out and got the Angels closer, Raciel Iglesias, to be another arm in this bullpen with Kensley Jansen, Tyler Matzik, AJ Minter, and everybody else, right? I mean, they actually got better in the bullpen, I think, when it was all said and done. And then you combine that with the moves yesterday, when you talk about the sort of moves that they piecemealed together and made an impact on. You get some more depth in the infield and the outfield as they added Erki, and I can't even say his name right. It still makes me struggle, but nonetheless, what's his last name again? Adzer, you know who I'm talking about, right? Like, yeah, I'm not going to try to continue to butcher these poor guys' names, but nonetheless, as we talked about yesterday with Grant, it's about them continuing to upgrade at several positions. Robbie Grossman as well. Like, these are all pieces here that are going to make the Braves decidedly better down the stretch and make them a lot more Adrianza. That's it. Adrianza just popped up on my screen here as I was looking for it. But it's going to make them a lot more, they're going to have a lot more depth. And I think they realized that depth was so important in last year's postseason run that they went back and doubled down on that same philosophy again. Now, I genuinely do like the Braves moves. Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the splash, right? It's easy to get caught up in the flash. I get all that. And if the Padres get to the postseason, and we've talked about this already, the consolation prize of second place in the NL East means you face the Padres probably in round one. That's what that means. That's where they are right now as far as the standings is concerned because of the way it shakes out. So you would get the top two seeds. Again, the Dodgers and Mets would be the top two seeds. They would get buys. The next three seed would be the NL Central winner, whether it's Milwaukee or whoever else, gets the third wild card, the last wild card, either the Phillies or the Cardinals, whoever that is. And then the top two wild cards face each other. So the consolation prize here, and right now there's a 4-game lead for the Braves over the Padres. The consolation prize is not fun. That's going to be a tough first-round matchup and one that the Braves are going to get their hands full on. And then they're going to have to go out and face the Mets. Weird. But nonetheless. So I would tell you that with the Padres doing what they did and the Braves doing what they did, the Padres probably can't catch the Dodgers. If they did, that would be utterly amazing at this point. But these two teams that made big-time deals, one more splashy and flashy than the other, are likely on a collision course to meet each other at some point in the postseason. At least that's what it feels like. All right, coming up next, I still can't believe that there is a single doubt about this player in anybody's mind. That's coming up next right here on A to Z on Locked On Sports Atlanta, free on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Search Locked On Sports Atlanta. Be right back.